Let me ask you something. What if the biggest risk you could possibly take in your career, or even in your life, isn't some huge, spectacular failure, but just doing nothing at all? It's kind of a scary thought, right? And it's the huge idea we're going to unpack today.
Dear audience, welcome to another high-speed episode of Summerpedia. We're here to bring you more titles in less time. In this episode, we're diving into the core lessons from Your Move by Ramit Sethi. He really wrote this as a playbook for anyone who feels like the underdog. You know, the person kind of on the outside looking in, who's just ready to finally build something for themselves. So let's get right into it.
All right, so let's start with the biggest mental hurdle for pretty much everyone: risk. We're all terrified of failing, right? But what if the real danger, the one that quietly builds up over years and years, is the risk of never even starting in the first place?
This is where our whole way of thinking gets flipped completely upside down. See, the most significant failures in life, they're usually not the things we tried and messed up. Nope, they're the opportunities we just let slide by. That whole idea of playing it safe, it's not safe at all. In fact, it's a guaranteed way to lose out over the long run.
Just think about how this plays out. On any given day, staying home feels way easier than going out. Staying in the job you know feels safer than learning some new, scary skill. But stretch that out over a decade, and those tiny little acts of doing nothing start to compound. Your social circle gets smaller, your career hits a wall, and that amazing business idea you had, yeah, someone else already launched it, and they're years ahead of you now.
Okay, so let's say you're fired up, you're ready to make a move. What's the first step? Is it finding the perfect social media hack or some fancy new webinar tactic? No, absolutely not. It's about fixing something way deeper, your entire mindset around money. And look, if you don't get your head right on this, no business tactic in the world is going to save you. The whole foundation is built on these 3 rules. Number 1, people are actually happy to pay for real value. 2, money isn't some evil, greedy thing. It's fuel. It lets you create even more value. And 3, a sale isn't a sleazy transaction. It's just proof that you made something people actually want and need. This brings us to a really interesting, kind of counterintuitive idea about pricing. I mean, why would you charge for something when you could just give it away for free? Well, here's why. Because when people pay, they pay attention. They're invested. They show up. So charging for your value, it isn't just about you. It actually helps your customers commit and get the results they came for.
And you know that super intimidating goal of earning more money? It's not some mystical power that only a few people have. You can break it down. An extra $1,000 a month sounds huge, right? But when you see it as just $50 a day, 5 days a week, well, all of a sudden, that feels totally doable. This mindset shift, it's everything.
Okay, mindset is locked in. But now we hit the big question. What's my idea? The book argues that every single one of us has what it calls an X-Man ability, a skill that feels completely normal to you, but to other people, it looks like a legitimate superpower. So let's find yours. To dig up that superpower, we can use this simple 4-part framework. First, what services do you already pay for? That tells you what people find valuable. Second, what are you just good at? Excel, cooking, speaking another language? Just write it all down. Third, listen to your friends. What do they always come to you for help with? And finally, what do you totally nerd out about on a Saturday morning? You know, the one thing you could talk about for hours? That's a massive clue. So once you've got a list of ideas, you have to test them. This part is critical. You do not want to waste time building something nobody wants to buy. And the demand matrix is a super simple tool to see if your idea has a real shot. It just plots your idea based on 2 simple things: how many customers are out there and how much would they be willing to pay.
So here's how you use the matrix. Your goal is to land in one of the 3 good zones. A golden goose is the dream, right? High price, tons of customers. High end is also awesome. Fewer clients, but they pay a lot. Mass market can work too. Low price, but you sell to a ton of people. The one place you must avoid, the labor of love. That's where you have just a few customers paying a low price. And that is a recipe for total burnout. That's a hobby, my friends, not a business. Okay, you've got a tested idea. Awesome. Now, how in the world do you find customers who are going to love what you do and keep coming back for more? Well, it all comes down to a simple 4-word phrase.
That's it. Seriously. It's not about selling, it's about listening. When somebody mentions a problem they have, your first instinct is to jump in with a solution. Don't do it. Instead, just ask them, "Tell me about that." This one little prompt opens the floodgates. You'll learn their real hopes, their fears, their dreams. You'll literally hear the exact words they use to describe their problems, which is pure gold for creating something they will desperately want.
And listen, this isn't just some feel-good idea. It has a massive financial impact. When you truly listen, you create things people actually want to buy. This chart from the author's own business makes it crystal clear. A customer who buys a second product is, on average, worth more than twice as much as a one-time buyer. Building that kind of loyalty? It all starts with listening.
So who is the person behind all these powerful ideas? And maybe more importantly, what are the key lessons we should really walk away with today?
So who is Ramit Sethi? He actually started his blog, I Will Teach You to Be Rich, from his dorm room and grew it into this massive company. What makes his approach so different is that he's got this relentless focus on psychology and systems, not on cheap tricks. He really provides a genuine roadmap for people who are just tired of waiting around for someone else to give them a shot.
Okay, let's pull it all together. What are the key lessons here? First, remember that the biggest risk you can take is doing nothing. Second, your money mindset is the foundation for everything. Get that right before you worry about tactics. Third, you absolutely have a skill people will pay for. Use those 4 questions to find it. Fourth, test your idea before you waste time building it. And finally, shut up and listen. Your future customers will give you the roadmap.
And that brings us to the final challenging question this book leaves us with. In a world with fewer gatekeepers than ever before, someone is going to build that thing you're dreaming about. So, why shouldn't it be you? Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more impactful summaries from Summarypedia.